Okay. Okay. Hey guys, it's Cal, and welcome back to my channel, and today our co-host here is the lovely Luna. She is a blizzard corn snake, and she's on her little exercise ball right now, so we're gonna leave her on this. And we're actually gonna talk about why I think corn snakes suck. Yep. One of the most popular species of pet snakes is the corn snake, and I can see why. They're very easy to care for. They stay pretty small. I mean, small for a snake. All snakes get, most snakes. Okay, we'll edit that part out. They stay pretty small. They generally are supposed to have good temperaments, but not good for me. I also find that I prefer a little bit, I also found that I prefer a little bit bigger snakes, so more of a heavy-bodied, like a ball python, or something like heavier, more substantial to them. Something more substantial, a little more girth to them. So I personally prefer like ball pythons or a boa or something like that to the slender-bodied corn snake. But we're not here to hate on corn snakes across the board. I'm just here to tell you my experience with the 4 corn snakes that I have personal experience with. That's what we're saying. So first up, we're going to talk about my first corn snake ever. This corn snake came from one of those rehome sites, and I contacted the girl. She was looking to rehome him. And, hello? She was looking to rehome him, and it was a good deal. So I drove out to meet her to get this corn snake. I was so excited. It was a beautiful corn snake. It was the orange, the orange with the deep browns, and it was just a gorgeous snake. I really thought it was just beautiful. And I was super excited to get it. It wasn't till I got there. I met her at a gas station like a half hour away or something like that. And it wasn't until I got there that she informed me that this snake was the devil. It bit everybody. It hated everybody. And I'm like, oh, whatever. It's corn snake. Everybody says they're so, friendly and nice, so it'll be fine. I can work with it, tame it down, I've always had good experience with taming reptiles down. Hello? Hey? What are we doing? You keep distracting me from my story here. And I took the snake home. Paid her, it was like $40. It was cheap. And I took the snake home, got it all set up in a nice bioactive enclosure, whole setup. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do good. We're gonna start with hook training, and I'm gonna work with this snake, and it's gonna be great. It was not great. Hello. This snake would literally bite and strike everybody if you even got near its cage. This thing was, like she said, the devil. So I had him for about, I want to say 4-ish months. I think that snake is actually in a previous video. I think I got it out of the enclosure, and I even was like, watch me get bit on camera. So yeah, that snake I ended up trading that snake to a friend who was getting into a breeding project with corn snakes, and I traded him for a tarantula, a zebra knee tarantula, because he sells tarantulas for his buddy, and he does like the vending show and stuff. And I was like, hey, you want the snake? We'll trade, whatever. So I traded that snake off, and I'm like, okay, I'm still wanted to try a corn snake. I'm like, this has got to be a one-off situation, because everyone says corn snakes are great, and I've heard a lot about how great these corn snakes are. So, fast forward to the summer of this year, where I got a message from someone on Facebook who seen that I do reptile rescue, and I was doing all that, and she had 3 snakes she was rehoming, and she had to rehome because they didn't have time for them anymore, and she had 3 of them. She had a ball python, which was Scarlet, you guys met in my last video, a little garter snake named Scooter, who unfortunately did pass away, and Crush, the beautiful albino corn snake. Gorgeous snake. And similar situation. I wasn't told until after they dropped the snakes off, because they brought the tanks and the snakes and everything to my house because I knew them and whatever. Long story short, it wasn't until they brought the snakes and dropped them all off that the guy told me that the snake is very aggressive, that everything about this snake is very aggressive. I'm like, oh goodness, another corn snake. But I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to work with this snake. I was determined that I was going to work with this snake, and that was the plan. I was keeping this snake. I was going to work with it. This was going to be the corn snake. This was it. So I was going to work with this snake. This thing is, you're very distracting, ma'am. You're getting in the way of my storytelling. Yes, you are. And I would do daily handling sessions. I'd be working with her, hook training, whole thing for about 3 months maybe. And my friend and his girlfriend came over, and they were coming over, I think, to buy a tarantula or something. They were buying something, because we do a lot of trades and buy animals from each other and trade stuff, and we'll get into that. That's actually how she came here, but we'll get into that. And I'm telling him about how this snake is just the devil, and he's like, no, corn snakes are wonderful. They're like, I don't believe it. And I'm like, oh, you don't believe me? Okay, I'll go get this snake. You're gonna see this snake is evil. So I get the snake out. Of course, I get tagged as I'm trying to carry her downstairs to take her out to show my friend, and I swear this snake lit up when she seen him. She literally was like, instantly, just like, kind of was reaching from me, reaching to him, and I'm like, huh? He literally picked the snake up, put it around his shoulders, and she was the most docile, calm snake ever. I'm like, that is not the snake that I've been working with. Like, it's just not. That's not the snake. What the heck? And I was so confused, but I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm still in the training process. And I told him that he was like, he wanted the snake. And I'm like, yeah, I'm still working on it. I'm not ready to part with her yet. So I think it was like only 2-ish weeks later, there was a reptile expo that they were going to, and I just like text them, and I'm like, yo, I can't do this anymore. The snake really liked you. It seems so much happier with you. I feel it'd be a better fit for you to take her versus me, because we weren't making any progress, and the snake did not like me. It always would bite me, musk on me. It just was a terrible experience. And I'm like, you know what? It's not working for me, but, you know, if it's gonna work for you, that's great. So he came, he took the snake, and he's had that snake for a couple months now, and he's mad. The snake is literally madly in love with him. I'm like, okay, I guess I made the right decision for the snake. I put her in a situation that she's happy, and that's good. I still don't know how the snake completely switched like that, but at first the snake wouldn't even let his girlfriend hold it, and now it's like getting better with that. But I guarantee if it ever seen me again, it would probably try to murder me, because I've never been hated by an animal as much as I was hated by that snake. So I still get updates all the time because we're friends, and I'm like, I just don't believe that that's the same snake somehow. But it is. That snake just loves him. I'm like, okay, so maybe you just like men. I don't know. And then my third corn snake I got from what I thought was a good breeder, but it turns out he was just like a vendor kind of thing, where he buys from not so ethical places. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to get anything going on about that, but I found out he buys from like Reptiles by Mac, and he buys from some places that I would prefer not to interact with. But I got the snake I got this corn snake from him, and he's like, oh, it's a really nice corn snake. And he was right. It was a really nice corn snake for like the first 2 weeks I had it. And then this thing turned on me. Like, turned on me. You're my sweet baby. Why are you being sassy? Look at you. Look at you. You don't think you're being crazy. That's the sassy pose. Look at you. Crazy ass thing. You're always my friendly baby. You were just out 2 minutes ago. We were just hanging. You don't remember that? Fine, Tara. I'll lock you up. You can even tell by my voice I was shocked by how this snake was acting. And she's like reared up and hissing and rattling her tail trying to bite me. And it was like after that, whatever switched, that snake was just gone. That snake, whatever personality it had before, was gone. All it wanted to do was hiss and bite and rattle and just be horrible in general. So I actually still had that snake for, I think, 2 more months after that, or a month after that. I don't know. It wasn't super long, but I still had that one, and I'm like struggling figuring out that one. And then my friend, the same friend that took the other corn snake that madly loves him, messages me, and he's like, hey, do you want a blizzard corn snake? He got it and from one of the Facebook things, rehome sites, and he got it, and it had mites. And they had just gone through a whole thing of getting rid of mites, and he was like, he and his girlfriend were like, we are not doing this again, no more mites. And I'm like, well, I was like, well, I'm not really a huge fan of corn snakes. I'm still dealing with this demon corn snake, but you know what? Sure, I'll take her. He said he was really nice, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'll take her. And I had the space. I could quarantine her. She lived in our bathtub, in a 10-gallon tank in our bathtub for about 2 weeks, I think, while I was doing the mite treatment. And that was fun. She was not very happy. In case you didn't pick up on that yet, that's Luna we're talking about here. She wasn't happy, but she was the sweetest corn snake I have ever met, and she still is. As you can see, she is so calm. She just likes to hang out. She loves her little exercise ball, and she's an amazing corn snake. So I got her all cleared up on mites, got rid of all those. She went through the full treatments, the baths, the soaks. I'll have to make a video on mites one day because I have a heck of a story about those. So we got her cleared up on mites, and then she got to move into the reptile room where she will now spend the rest of her days because I love her. But as for the other corn snake who turned on me, I ended up finding a home for him with another pet keeper on there. He ended up buying that snake from me, and a fire skink, I think. As far as I know, the snake's doing great. It still has its aggression problems, but I had told him off the bat it was that way, but it was still young, like it was small still. So yeah, that snake went there, and Luna is my only corn snake, and the only corn snake I've had luck with so far. So I don't know if it's just a me thing, but I don't know, I've not had the greatest experience with corn snakes, but I'm having a great experience with you. So, I don't know. Hi. Hi. Hello. Pretty girl. Yeah, so I'm not hating on corn snakes. That's just my experience with them. And as you can see, everybody's had different experiences. As you can see from the story with my friend, that that snake loves him. It just didn't like me. So maybe corn snakes just don't like me. So I don't know. There's not really a huge point to this video except me telling you my experience with corn snakes. I think I'm going to be starting to do this with all kinds of different reptiles and animals, telling you my experience with individual species and my personal experience and opinions on individual species. So that is my corn snake journey, and I'm happy that I finally have an amazing corn snake, because she has lived up to everything I have read online about corn snakes being, and I absolutely love her. So say bye, Luna. Say bye, Luna. Alright guys, that's it for me today. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, bye!